afternoon and welcome to North Penn High School. Joining in progress, the North Penn Maidens field hockey home game against the William Tennent Lady Panthers. Right now, play is in the corner just early on in the first half. I'd like to welcome to me, I'm joined by Joe Alcaro, my broadcast partner. We'll go through some starting lineups for you when we get the chance. Right now, we'll pick up the action down in the Maidens end right now. Karen Anderson all over that ball. Maidens will be given a 16-yard clearance pass. That's the equivalent of a goal kick in soccer. Tennent controlling right now. That was Jill Coop on that play right there. Sent into the maiden zone deep. Lizzie Gerstel controlling along the sideline. Inbound play coming up for Tennent. This will be Jen Doney taking this one. Hits it in. Taken out. Shot in deep again. Karen Anderson on the defense. Gerstel centering. Gets it past Trumbor, the North Penn goalie. Kicked ball. Maiden's ball.
That was a risky play there by the goalie on that one.
Yeah, she tried to come off and cut off the angle there. Got by her, unfortunately. Justina Bria hits it in. Sarah Ducilli taking it. Just out of bounds. Inbounding is Lindsay Kalbflesh. Stopped by Megan Sins. Hits it out. A little confusion. They're going to take it in on the sideline. Well, let's go through the William Tennent starting lineups here. At forward, number 10, Lizzie Gerstel. Also at forward, number 2, Sherry Geis. At forward, number 27, Kate Kirshner. And number 14, Kelly McMahon. We'll pick up the action now. The Maidens are bringing it in. That's Alyssa Moser, one of the captains of this squad, trying to get around number 11, Jill Doney. Ball sent out of play on the far side. Inbounding it for the Maidens will be Amanda Spalding. Now Molly Meehan. Trying to get it to Leone, unable to connect there, but picked up nicely by Jamie Willis. Kate Kirshner taking it out. Defense nicely by Molly Meehan. Sends it up toward the near side. She's got an open player. Megan Sins just misses the ball, and it rolls right past us. Picking up the starting lineups again for William Tennent at midfield, number 22, Jill Coop. She's joined by number 11, Jen Doney, Also at link, number 7, Lindsay Kalbflesh. At back for the Lady Panthers, number 5, Kelly Zenderwick. And number 9, Justina Bria, along with her sister, number 8, Jen Bria. And in goal for the Lady Panthers, number 66, Sarah Paulsworth. Good defense on that play, sent in nicely by Moser. Penalty on that play, William Tennent will have a free out. Starting lineups for the Maidens. Number 2, Amanda Spalding at link. Number 5, Megan Sins at link. Number 9, Nikki Leone at forward. As well as number 10, Karen Anderson at back. Number 12, Molly Meehan at link. Number 13, Christina Ford at forward. Number 16, Sarah Ducilli at back. Number 21, Katie Somar at forward. Number 23, Alyssa Moser at forward. Number 24, Jamie Willis at link. Number 32, Jody Trumbauer, the all-league selection in goal. Number 33, Susan Ducilli anchoring the defense. And that's your starting lineups for the Maidens. Play sent deep. Kicked nicely out there by the goalie, Paulsworth. But play controlled, sent in deeply. Shot in by Moser. Unable to convert on that, however, but she picks it up. She has Leone in the center trying to get to her. Unable to. Whiffed on that play by Kalbsflesh. Maiden's trying to pick it back up. Ducilli, unable to. Kalbsflesh controlling. Fanned on that one again. Sins sends it in. She's got Willis, the other captain on this team, trying to center. They're going to call a slash on that illegal play on the Maidens. A free out for William Tennent, Joe.
The most important thing that I understand about field hockey is keeping the ball in the other team's zone. You really want to try to keep it near the goal as much as you can so you can get a dribbler in or maybe even a hard shot.
Yeah, it's really a low-scoring game, almost like soccer. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I had a wrong call on that. This is a corner opportunity for the Maidens. Centered in. Moser, the shot! Deflected over the net. Just missed. It will stay Maiden's ball deep in William Tennent territory. Of course, penalty corners are the biggest opportunity for either team to score. That really sets up play deep in the zone. And this will be a long hit, as they call it, almost a throw-in for soccer to be an equivalency. Play deep in the maiden zone. This is Leone working it around. Slash on the play. Maiden's ball. It'll be a free hit because this was outside of the scoring circle. That one will go wide. William Tennent will bring it out. Scoreless early on here in the first half. Glad you could join us on North Penn Television. Once again, I'm Kyle Berger along with Joe Alcaro. Taking the 16 hit for the Lady Panthers will be Kelly Zenderwick, the back. Sends it out. Controlled by Meehan at midfield, but stolen nicely by number 11, Jen Doney. Picking it up on defense is Sarah Ducilli. Fans on that one and picked up by 27, Kate Kirshner. Now Ducilli recovers and sends it out. This is Lindsay Kalbsflesh on the near side. Sends back the safety valve to Justina Bria. Aggressive play on the near side nicely by William Tennent. Kalbsflesh knocked it up but got rejected. Here's Leone on the near sideline. Sends it long. Nobody home there. Just Jen Bria on defense. Willis in pursuit. Hit out to midfield. Kelly McMahon. Taking it for the Maidens is Amanda Spaulding all the way up. Contact on that play. They're going to give it to the Maidens. Willis slaps it down. Nice hit, but goes wide. That'll be William Tennent ball.
Just wasn't on the same page with her teammate on that one.
Yeah, she looked like she was looking to send somebody there. They didn't pick up on that. Taking it out for William Tennent, number 9, Justina Bria. And a roll out of bounds right by us again. We're right in the action here, Joe. You
Yes,
gotta love
are.
it. Be a North Penn ball. Taken by Ducilli on the near side. Just got to hit through 3 defenders. Tops it. And is picked up by number 2, Sherry Geis. Now taken by Willis. Over to Moser. Unable to connect. Kept in nicely by number 14, Kelly McMahon.
That
Good
was a nice
hustle on
save.
that play. Ducilli having a tough go of it back there. Kicked ball, quickly taken back. Here's Geis. It'll stay Tennant's ball on that foul. Kalbsflesh will take the free hit. Defended nicely by Sins. They're going to call obstruction on number 27, Kate Kirshner. Free hit for the Maidens. Sins up, deflected by Leone down into Tennant's area around the 25-yard line. Out of bounds, Maidens ball. Sins quickly on it. And the one thing they do in field hockey, they try to get the ball back in play as much as possible, catch the other team off guard.
Most importantly is because of the running clock they have.
Exactly. Continuous clock stopping only for injuries. Willis into the scoring area, unable to connect. Coming out, number 10, Lizzie Gershel. Sue Ducilli on defense. Nicely run off the play there. Sarah Ducilli slaps it up. Kept in on the far side. On defense for Tennant, Kelly Zenderwick. Giving challenge. Here's Leone. Trying to send her to Willis and does. Good ball control by Willis. Shows why she's the captain of this team. Sent out again, and Willis all over the field trying to get to that ball. Unable that time. Gerstel on the far side, running it up. Good defense by Meehan, one of the league's best defenders. And Gerstel continuing to persevere over on that far side. Knocked out of bounds off the Maidens. It's Tennant ball. Jen Doney inbounds. Sarah Ducilli, another good defender, picks it up in the transition. At midfield, a little bit of a miss hit, but she recovered nicely. Here's Kelly McMahon. Trying to send on the far wing, but mishit that one. Picked up, though, by Sherry Geis, the forward. Walks around Karen Anderson, but Karen Anderson recovers very nicely. Sent in Meehan. Out to the safety valve, Megan Sins, a beautiful play. Now it's picked up on the far side by Kalbsflesh. Centered, but Willis is the only one there. Out of bounds, right at us again.
Whoa.
And off the truck. Nice shot there by Willis. She, of course, is known for a long range, one of the area's best three-point shooters, male or female. In basketball, of course, we're talking about. This Maidens team is really well-rounded in all sports. I mean, we have many 2-3 sport athletes on this team. So we're saying that. William Tennent puts it in. We're going to credit that to Jen Doney from the right side. Jody Trumbore is beaten early for the Maidens. 1-0 Tennent.
On that goal, Trumbar was shifting to the left and the ball was hit back to the right. And it always surprises them when that happens.
Yeah, the goalie is moving. That's when they're most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. You want to see your goalie set up and get into position, cut off the angle. So the Maidens will try to recover. Willis trying to send it out to the far side. McMahon and Sins duking it out on the near side. Sins will turn and smack it off of Kelly McMahon. They're going to call that a dangerous play.
Thing you really don't see, though, in this game is much celebration after the goal because of the running clock.
Exactly. They have to get back real quick on defense just to make sure the other team is not trying to take advantage of it. Shot out to the far side. Tennent ball. Hit out by Sarah Ducilli there.
That was a smart play by Ducilli, just to hit the ball out. They were overpowered there. They didn't have enough guys.
Once again, Joe, a lot of similarities in this game and soccer. If you're on defense in soccer and you're in trouble, kick it to the outside, sacrifice a throw-in instead of a scoring opportunity, and that's just what the Maidens did. Play now around the 25-yard line of the Maidens. Sherry Geist trying to battle. Now it's Jill Coop. Jen Doney, the goal scorer for the Lady Panthers, out of bounds off the Maidens. Therefore, it is Tennant's ball. Shot all the way in, kicked out by Trumbore nicely. Karen Anderson trying to battle. Obstruction called on Anderson. Sent into the scoring circle. And shot out by Ducilli. Now out on the far side, sent all the way down. A nice play right there. When in doubt, clear it out. Miss-hit there. Yeah, miss-hit there by Jen Bria. Maiden's ball, Nikki Leone looking for somebody to center to. This is Willis up front. Now it's Willis. They're going to call a slash there. It'll be a penalty corner for the Maidens. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is a penalty shot, I believe. Well, it shows how much we know about field hockey, Joe. This is a penalty corner. Meehan will take it, looking for Willis. Unable to convert on that bad hop. Susan Ducilli sends it in. Still in the circle. Shot in, just wide by Sarah Ducilli.
That is one of the harder things in this sport, to just stop the ball and control it while it's coming at you because all the hops. Because it is a grass field here. It's natural grass.
And you're not allowed to use your body. You have to use the stick. Maidens will have a free hit right inside the 25-yard line. Willis will take it. Centered off of Moser. They're going to give it a corner for the Maidens.
Moser on that play just couldn't get out of the way of the ball. She tried her best, but just couldn't move.
Yeah, another bad hop. It will be Molly Meehan taking the corner again for the Maidens. She's got Willis, Moser, and Ducilli lined up there. It's Moser. Now back to the younger Ducilli, Sarah. Willis turns to the outside. Defended very nicely. Very aggressive defense by Justina Bria. And rewarded for her efforts, Brina will be granted a 16 free hit. Play along the near side now. Geis and Ducilli battling it out. Contact on that play. Tennant ball. Lindsay Calbsflesh shoots it up across. Stopped beautifully by Willis. Controlling. Nice touch pass. Unable to connect, however. Here's Sins along the near sideline. Shoots it down off of a Tennant player. Maiden's ball. Sins will take it in. Through a crowd of Tennant defenders. I don't know how she did that. Willis into the circle, but defended. Turnaround shot just wide.
That was a close one.
Very close. Of course, shots and scoring chances are really few and far in between in field hockey, so you really have to convert.
That chance was created, though, by Megan Sins's nice hit-in that went through all those players.
Exactly. I mean, she had about 6 people that she hit through. Well, let's pick it up. Meehan centers. Dropped off. Ducilli. Shot. Saved. Somehow. That was unable to go in. Sarah Paulsworth on the stop there for William Tennant. 16-yard free hit taken pretty much shanked right there. Along the far sideline, it is Kelly McMahon. Good defense by Sins. Shot up the sideline. Into the game now for the Maidens, Leslie Mogenberg just picking up that substitution. Unable to clear that in, but knocked off a Tennent. Sins will take it in. Once again, through 3 defenders. Here's Moser into Nikki Leone, battling it out. Trying to get away from Jill Coop. Now it's taken out. This is Kate Kirshner. Tries to send it up the left side, but too far for Kelly McMahon. Tried to get a nice little setup down the left wing there. Unable to convert, however. Sarah Ducilli to the center. Missed by both Willis and Leone. Picked up by number 8, Jen Bria. Now Leone, one of the more aggressive players on North Penn. Also a very good lacrosse player. One of the leading scorers on the team last year. They got called that obstruction on Leone. Not too happy with that call. Here's Jill Coop at midfield. Just into Maiden's territory. Sends it down the far side. Picked up by Lizzie Gersel, the forward. Good defense. A great all-out effort there by number 2, Amanda Spalding. Sent in on goal. Good save by Trumbore and shot out by Ducilli. Over on the far side there, it goes out of bounds. Katie Somar was trying to keep it in, unable to, however. And Tennant will be rewarded with a long hit. Here's Jen Doney, trying to center. Shot out by Alyssa Moser. Good safe play. Megan Sins trying to hustle. Unable to get there in time. Out of bounds. Tennant ball. Taken on the sideline by Justina Bria, the back. Sent up the sideline and off of Lindsay Kalb's stick. North Penn ball. On the inbound, it'll be Megan Sins. About 5 yards short of the 50-yard line. Topped a bit. Taken by Sherry Geis. Trying to clear it. Unable to. Now she sends it up the center. Nobody home for Tennant. Sarah Ducilli back on that play, and Jody Trumbore picks up the garbage and takes it out, Joe.
That was a very strange play by the defense. It almost looked like they were letting it get back to the goalie, which is not one of the better moves in this sport.
And, of course, one of the nice things is being a goalie in field hockey is you can just tee up on that ball and kick it as far as you can. Maiden's ball, just inside the 25-yard line on the near side. Megan Sins trying to center it. She's got Moser and Leone. Leone trying to control, and does. Into the zone, and out of bounds. William Tennant with a 16-yard free out. Timeout taken, I believe, by William Tennant. So as we've seen so far today, Joe, 1-0 William Tennant. And really, they've only had 1 or 2 shots, and the Maidens have had 3 or 4 penalty corners that they were unable to capitalize on. Of course, you never know how the ball's going to bounce. Like you said, one of the toughest things in field hockey is to pick up that short hop.
Yeah, you're right. It really has been a pretty evenly balanced game so far. There's been good play on both sides of the field. William Tennant just had their chance, and they took advantage of it. And like you said, North Penn just didn't get the ball in the goal.
Yeah, and really what happened on that goal was Trumbore just kind of got caught out of position, and also she was moving at the same time that shot was going in, unfortunately for her. But all in all, the Maidens lost the real core of their defense last year with Danielle Wilderman, who is at Duquesne University right now on a lacrosse scholarship. She really anchored the defense, both on the lacrosse team and the field hockey team, and they've really picked it up this year. I was talking with Megan Sins at lunch today, getting a bit of information about the team, and she said that really they've rebuilt the team this year on defense with Sarah Ducilli and Susan Ducilli, as well as Karen Anderson, who's really been a solid anchor back there for the Maidens. And, of course, no defense is complete without a good goalie, and Jody Trumbore, like I said, first-team all-league selection, unanimous, and she has really proven to be one of the better goalies in Suburban 1. Of course, the Suburban 1 National Patriot Division, which the Maidens are playing in, is really one of the hardest divisions in the region, if not the state. Now look at the standings right now. The Maidens' 2 losses came to Pennsbury and Council Rock, 2 powers in this division. Council Rock is always a contender for the state championship. Right now, they're sitting pretty atop the division with a 5-0 record. North Penn is in second with a 3-2 record, just in front of Pennsbury, who is 2-1-1. Taken out, kept in, just out of bounds. Sarah Ducilli unable to control. Inbounding for William Tennent, Lindsay Kalbsflesh. Looking for an outlet. Sends it to the middle. Knocked down. Picking up by Susan Ducilli. Now it's Jill Coop. Nicely played up to Kelly McMahon, but now controlled by Sue Ducilli. Megan Sims takes a hack and misses, but clipped Kelly McMahon, so she'll get called for dangerous play right there.
A lot of the times you see the girls use that little flip shot to get it over the sticks of the other defenders. It's very effective. We've seen it happen like 5 or 6 times already today.
Exactly, similar to a wrist shot in hockey or a flip shot, if you will. Control right around the scoring circle in Tennant's area. Kelly Zenderwick sends it out nicely. Molly Meehan hustling, trying to get it. Unable to control Jen Doney now, but Meehan comes back nicely, but will be called for a foul. Here's Jen Doney on the far side, the midfielder. Willis all over there on defense, along with Leone. Whistle on that play. I believe Leone might have kicked that ball. Sent up the side by Doney, a nice hit. Back on defense for the Knights, number 39, Leslie Mogenberg. Sent up the sideline out of bounds, Tennant ball. Once again, the link, Jen Doney. Takes a swat at that. Unable to penetrate the Maidens' defense, but now it's picked up by number 22, Jill Coop. Sent out by Katie Somar to the center. Leone trying to get to Moser, and does. Moser sends for Willis, unable to connect, but it gets by the defense. That was Kelly Zenderwick missing on that, but picked up nicely and recovered by Jen Bria. Whistle on the play, Maidens ball, a free hit awarded. Jamie Willis, unable to control. Now picking it up is Sherry Geis. Fans on it. Good defense by Meehan, another one of the solid defenders on North Penn. A little bit of a communication problem there between Moser and Leone, but they ironed things out, and Moser controlling. Once again, good defense by Justina Bria. Now Moser fakes her into next week. Comes in. Gets called for a dangerous play.
Just a little too aggressive on that one, Kyle.
Yeah, she caught her with the stick, I think. Now here is Katie Somar on the left wing. Circling back to the center. Gets by 2 people. Contact on that play. Jamie Willis will take it. Just outside of the penalty circle. Almost a corner. Willis inbounds. No, now there'll be a corner, I believe, awarded to North Penn. Once again, Molly Meehan will take it. Of course, the rules of field hockey state that any foul inside of the scoring area will result in an inbound on the corner for the opposing team. Moser with a hack at that, over the net, just missed, deflected, so it'll stay Maiden's ball.
As soon as that was hit, it went right off in the defender's stick. That made it pop right up in the air.
Of course, that is good defense. We see that the same thing in ice hockey. A lot of similarities in this as well as soccer and field hockey. One of the main defense mechanisms used in the NHL by defensemen, and we see this. I'm a huge Flyers fan, and I watch Eric Desjardins. All he does whenever anybody winds up for a slap shot, he'll stick the stick right under the puck. It'll go into the upper deck. So trying to deflect it on defense is almost sometimes better than trying to stop it. While we were off on a little ice hockey trip there. Meanwhile, the Maidens have picked up another corner. This is about their 6th so far in the first half. Meehan tops it, but to Willis, nicely controlled shot, deflected off of a foot. Now the Maidens will take it again. This right here is called a long hit. This is when the ball is unintentionally hit over by the defense. Maidens will get an inbound from the sideline at the top of the circle.
Willis was not happy with that call. She thought that she made a nice play.
Yeah, she got a little piece of the defense right there, so they'll be awarded with a free hit from the top of the circle. Topped by Tennant. Now they're going to call an obstruction on number 27. That was Kate Kirshner. Inbounded quickly by the Maidens. It's Moser wreaking some havoc on the attack right there. Sims trying to center off of Moser. Of course, that's not legal, so sent out. Number 8, Jenna Bria.
Nice job by DeCilli there to stop that ball and keep it down here.
Excellent job. Here on the near sideline, out of bounds. Almost kept in by Lindsay Kalbsflesh, but unable to. Megan Sins will inbound the ball for the Maidens. Once again, through a host of defenders, sent in deep. Maidens ball.
It's good contact on that hit by Sins.
She got all of that. We've seen a lot of plays, mostly by Tennent right now, that they've been hitting behind the ball a lot, and you see the divot coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's not going to give you solid contact. That's going to pop it straight up in the air. Here's Meehan. Drops it off. Willis, just wide. Looking for the deflection from Somar. Unable to hit it.
That was the first time we saw a drop back from a corner shot there.
Exactly, and a nice play by Willis, trying to get it in for the deflection by Somar. Just one too many defenders for Tennent. But kick ball on the penalty circle, so they'll give it back to the Maidens. Meehan tops it a bit, taken by Moser. Shot. Kick save and a beauty by number 66, Sarah Paulsworth.
That's just good reactions by the goalie.
Exactly. Willis whiffs on that one. She's not too happy with that. Smacks the ball away in disgust. She's going to get called for a dangerous play there, raising the stick above the shoulder. That was really an excellent save by Paulsworth. Like you said, good reaction time and cutting off the angle. Ball's coming out right at us. Kick save and a beauty by Berger right there, Jill.
That was a nice one.
You got to like that. That hurt a bit, actually. That was going a little harder than I thought. Megan Sin sends it in, deflected by Leone inside the 25-yard line from Tennent, but they'll get a free hit. Sent out by number 22, Jill Coop. Controlled by Leone. Sent into Moser. Harassed by number 8, Jen Bria. Still continues to get it out to Leone. A nice play. Maiden's ball just outside the 25-yard line with a free hit. DeCilli sends it in quickly, but is rejected. Contact on that play, a hold. They'll give back to Tennent. Sent out to the far side. Doney, good hustle. Gets by Meehan. Meehan, though, hustling back, and a good play by number 39, Leslie Mosenberg, to get it back. Leslie Mosenberg, excuse me.
Yeah, all she did was get her stick in there just to stop the momentum of William Tennent's player right there.
Meehan slaps it out to midfield. Moser controls, just gets by Jen Bria. Sending it long, looking for Leone. But Justina Bria will get there first. Turns it around dangerously to the center. Willis almost picks it up. Now into the penalty circle they go. Kicked ball, but it was on Katie Somar, so a 16-yard free hit for the Lady Panthers. Sent out by Jenna Bria. Blocked by Leone, who's been all over the field this half. Willis is trying to center, unable to. Now she recovers, sends it in again, and is blocked. Excellent defense by Jill Coop, the midfielder. Willis, unable to center again. Trying again. Falls down this time. She's really frustrated out there.
I think she might have wanted a foul there because she ran into the defender on that play.
Yeah, she was really frustrated. I mean, she was basically giving it her all right there and unable to convert on anything. And it's just kind of been a frustrating afternoon for the Maidens so far, unable to convert on anything. Sarah DeCilli takes that free hit, sent in, and it'll come back out. Taking it for the Panthers will be Jill Coop. Sue DeCilli at midfield. Sending it long past everybody. Picking it up is Jen Bria. Swing and a miss by Lindsay Kalbsflesh. Now it'll be taken in by Megan Sins quickly. Good contact again. This time it was deflected, however, by number 14. That was Kelly McMahon. Ooh. Sent off of Megan Sins' stick. Unfortunately, I think if she would have let that go there, it would have been Maiden's ball.
Yeah.
Looked like it was going out of bounds anyway.
Sometimes you just don't have enough time to think about it, though.
Exactly.
It's just reactions.
Free hit taken by Danielle Klein just into the game for William Tennent. Lizzie Gerstel controlling down to the far side. Unable to connect on that one. Good defense by Meehan, but Gerstel gets by her. Center. just wide of the net. It looked like they had a really good opportunity to score there, Joe, but Kelly McMahon could not convert. Once again, Jody Trumbore going for the save and missing it, leaving a wide open net.
You're right. Trumbore kind of overran that one.
Exactly. Now it is Somar, not unable to get good contact on that. Dangerous play on Tennent. Willis smacks it up there, looking for Leone, unable to. Leone was expecting Jen Bria to miss that. Unfortunately, she did not. If Bria missed that, she was the last line of the defense, and it was Leone one-on-one against Paulsworth. Here's Leone again. Up to Willis. Unable to get by Bria, who's playing excellent defense tonight for William Tennent.
Like you said earlier, Kyle, Leone has been just all over the ball. Wherever the ball is, it seems like she's there.
Yeah, one of the good things for the Maidens this year, if you look at the size differential, really Tennant's a little bit of a bigger team, but kicked in nicely there by Paulsworth. Maidens have really used their speed and agility this year to their advantage, and that's why they have a 4-2 record right now. And they've really been, like you said, they've been hustling around the field today. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to connect. Really just a lucky goal for Tennant early on, and the Maidens have been unable to come back. Sent near side by Mogenberg, now recovered. Battle going on between McMahon and Sins. Ducilli with a huge shot. That's the end of the first half. Your score is 1-0. So the Maidens, like we said, Joe, really it seemed like they outplayed Tennant that half. They had more shots. They had I don't think Tennant had more than one corner opportunity. And the Maidens really looked like they dominated that half. And it's unfortunate that right now the score is 1-0. So
you're right. They were all over the ball. Their quickness really has played a factor in this game. They just haven't got the ball in the goal, like you said.
Okay, well, we're going to see what the Maidens can do to try to turn this one around. We'll be back with second half action on North Penn Television. Keep it locked on 16. Stay with us.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
The crayon box that talked. While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say. I don't like red, said Yellow, and Green said, nor do I. And no one here likes orange, but no one knows just why. We are a box of crayons that doesn't get along, said Blue to all the others. Something here is wrong. Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me and laid out all the colors so the crayons could all see. They watched me as I colored, with red and blue and green and black and white and orange and every color in between. They watched as green became the grass and blue became the sky. The yellow sun was shining bright on white clouds drifting by. Colors changing as they touched, becoming something new. They watched me as I colored. They watched till I was through. And when I'd finally finished, I began to walk away. And as I did, the crayon box had something more to say. I do like red, said Yellow, and Green said, so do I. And Blue, you were terrific so high up in the sky. We are a box of crayons, each one of us unique. But when we get together, the picture is complete.
Welcome back to North Penn High School on the athletics fields. 1-0 William Tennent leads North Penn, although North Penn is basically outplaying them in this half, Joe.
Yeah, they really have been beating William Tennent to the ball, saving them from going out of bounds. And they've had a lot more shots, too. They just haven't gotten it in.
Exactly. So, off of the opening volley, maidens play it in. Taken out by Tennent, set up on the far side. Sent in now. Maidens unable to control. That was Ducilli. Dangerous play right there. Sent in now by William Tennent. Into North Penn territory. Ducilli sends it out.
Good contact on that one by Ducilli.
She got all of that one. Dangerous play by the maidens. Now sent in by Tennent into North Penn territory. Deep into North Penn territory. Kelly McMahon unable to center. Looked like she got a piece of Sarah Ducilli right there. Kicked ball. Maidens will recover. Taken out now by number 5. That's Megan Sins. Dangerous play along the far side. Willis swats it up. Almost gets it by Jen Bria. Kicked ball. Maidens will control again. Leone gets it by Bria, but nobody home for the maidens. Sent down the left wing of Tennent. Not much doing on that far side, but now coming out of it, number 18, Danielle Klein. Picking it up is McMahon down the far side, trying to center, unable to find anybody. Good play by Susan Ducilli. Got 2 pairs of sisters in this game, Joe. One for North Penn, the Ducillis, Sarah and Susan. And for William Tennent, the defensive pairing of Justina and Jen Bria.
And both pairs have really been playing a good game today. Both the Ducillis have played pretty good defense.
Yeah, and also the Brias, Joe. They're both defensive backs, and they really have done a nice job shutting down the maidens so far today. Here's a long hit taken in by Lindsay Kalbsflesh. Unable to center it. Leone, once again, all over the ball at both ends of the field. Now controlling is Jill Coop. Lindsay Kalbsflesh trying to center. Taken away nicely by Karen Anderson. Alyssa Moser. Nice contact, sending it all the way up. A good ball there by Moser. Jen Bria turns it around at Leone. Sends it for Leone. She's got her. Up the sideline. Obstruction called on Jen Bria. Leone was trying to get it back quickly and play there, but unable to connect there. Stopped by Bria once more. Up the left wing. Good defense there. It's Allie McGalloway. Controlling the defensive zone by Tennent, sent out to midfield. Across the 50-yard line, but sent right back by Amanda Spalding. Good play there. Left wing, centers in. Susan Ducilli all over that. Picking it up nicely in the second half is Ducilli. Sins up the far sideline. She's got Moser. She's got a step. Crosses to the center. Gets by another Tennent defender. Centers it in. Kicked out nicely by Sarah Paulsworth.
Paulsworth has played a pretty good game so far today.
Exactly. When she's had to make the big save, she's made it. Once again kicked out.
Like we were saying, she's really on top of her game.
Not much on that shot, but the Maidens will have another opportunity here. Once again, another penalty corner, which the Maidens have really, in the statistical category, dominated William Tennent. Meehan, centering. Moser, shot. Hits Leone. That was headed right at the goal. Leone is a little shaken up on that, shaking her right arm. She is really hurt right now. She's going to go down. They may need to take an injury timeout, and I believe they will. Nikki Leone appeared to have her right hand or wrist drilled by that rocket by Alyssa Moser. Of course, Alyssa Moser, one of the best attackers on North Penn, with a rocket of a slap shot in, and it got it off the ground and hit Leone, beg your pardon, right in the hand, and that's got to hurt, Joe.
Oh, I think it might have hit her in the face area.
Yeah,
that's what Dave the trainer is working on right now.
Yeah, she might be cut It looked like she was shaking off her hand. I might have misdiagnosed that. Of course, I'm not the trainer. Mr. Dave DeFusco is, but Nikki Leone is now walking off under her own power. We'll see if she'll return by the end of the game.
It's very hard to get out of the way of the ball when your teammate is hitting it from so close to you.
Exactly, and of course, field hockey, no pads.
Right, and the ball is hard, as you mentioned earlier, when it hits your foot.
It's not going to be fun if you're getting hit by a rocket off of the stick of Alyssa Moser, one of the better scorers for North Penn. Of course, Alyssa Moser scored the lone goal in North Penn's win over Ben Salem last week. That was their last game, improving the Maidens to 4-2. Set up nicely on a corner by Megan Sins, and Alyssa Moser knocked it in for the good league victory for the Maidens. So they will remain in second place at 4-2. See if they can come back and take this one. Of course, no overtime in field hockey, Joe. All ties will remain. Unable to send it in is Willis, but she recovers. Contact on that play, Tennent ball. Taken out by Jill Coop, deflected by Willis. Right along the sideline, kept in nicely. Now it's Gerstel on the outside. Make that Kirshner, centering. Nobody there. Sue Ducilli gets it out. She has number 45, that's Megan Heath. She's in for Nikki Leone. Gets by Bria, but nobody really close for the Maidens, unable to take that. Zenderwick sends it across. Sins, not able to get all of that one. Tries it again, deflected by Zenderwick. Here's Moser, turns, fires, deflected, doesn't go anywhere, and it'll come out a free hit for Tennant. Sarah Ducilli sends it long in to the Tennant zone. Hit out again. A little contact there, no call. Sins on the sideline. Sends it in. She was looking for Heath, unable to connect. Moser on the sideline, wreaking some more havoc over there. Sins thought about going for that ball, backed off at the last minute, but now is controlling. Here's Ducilli centering. There's Heath. Moser pursuing, but whiffed. And this will be a corner. Molly Meehan will come up from the defense to take it.
Meehan has had to make a couple trips today, running all the way up there just to make the corner shot.
Exactly. The Maidens have to be close to their 10th corner, and Meehan's playing defense today. She's got to come all the way back. Moser, deflected. Ducilli turns, fires, deflected by number 22, Jill Coop. Now controlled out. Kirshner trying to send out. Picked up nicely by Spalding. Out of bounds. They'll give it to Tennant. Here's Meehan off a couple deflections. Picked up nicely. Kicked ball, Maiden's ball. Meehan tops it up. Popped up in the air. It's dangerous play. Willis firing into the scoring circle, trying to get it through. Unable to, and sent back out. Good hustle on the far side there by Ducilli. Sent into the middle by Ducilli. Deflected. Unable to score. Unbelievable there, Joe. Looked like they had a couple whacks at it. And Paulsworth standing tall in goal.
Paulsworth really did a good job, though, of coming and meeting the ball, not letting them play it.
This will be another corner. Meehan drops it. Willis, shot, unable to connect. Dangerous play. The stick came above the shoulder. If you're not going to connect on that, the stick's going to be going out of control there.
Willis really took a big cut at that one.
Yeah,
she was trying to score on that play.
Exactly. Looking for a deflection maybe. Here's Heath. Has a step. But once again, the defense of Tennant is just starting to really solidify here in the second half and shut down the Maidens. Play in, back to take it for the Maidens. Leslie Mogenberg trying to beat Lizzie Gerstel to the ball. It'll be an inbound for the Tennant Lady Panthers, just about the Maidens' 25-yard line. Jen Doney sends it in. Ducilli did enough to get in the way there of number 18. That was Danielle Klein. Now the younger Ducilli heads out. Picking up by Justina Bria. Sarah Ducilli, another good hustle, picking it up in the second half as well. Moser took a chunk out of the ground with that one, didn't make real solid contact. They're going to call a kick ball there. William Tennent sends it in. That was Jill Coop. On the far side, unable to be sent in, Willis played perfectly out to Moser, tops it out, but Jen Bree is there, but she misses it. 2-on-1 for the Maidens. Played out wide. Katie Somar all alone on Sarah Paulsworth. Paulsworth with a beautiful play. Out of bounds. Somar appears to be all right after taking the brunt of that hit. Once again, Paulsworth not backing down from Somar there, coming up, taking the hit, resulting in a corner for the Maidens.
Paulsworth again is using her brain today. She's really done a good job so far, and like another play has shown, she's just reacting like a goalie should.
Exactly. Willis over to Moser. Save. At her feet, unable to see it. Paulsworth. Somar from her knees. Unbelievable turn of events there. Maiden somehow unable to knock it in. Once again, the ball is just not bouncing their way this afternoon. Moser. Past a fallen defender. Takes a hit. Circling around. Winds up. Fires. Unable to connect. Somar centers. Kick saved by Paulsworth. Another corner for the Maidens. Really, play has been mostly in the Tennent end for the better part of this game.
You're right. Jody Trumbar hasn't had a shot on her in a while, Kyle.
Exactly. Sent in, Meehan. Now it's Moser. Drops off. Ducilli. Heath. No. Sent out nicely by Bria.
Once again, they had their chance.
Somar unable to control on the far side. Ball kept in nicely by Gerstel. Here she comes up the far side. Sends it up. Gets by number 39, Leslie Mogenberg, but obstruction is called on her. Gerstel will send it in for Tennant. Through just about everybody, the lone defender for the Maidens, Sarah Ducilli, picks it up. Out at midfield, it's Kelly Zenderwick, harassed by Somar. Ball taken away from her. Dangerous play there, Maiden's ball. Here's Moser. Has a step. Tries to center. That'll be I believe a far hit for the Maidens. Yes, it will be on the near side. Hustling up to get this, Amanda Spaulding. And like you said, Joe, like Meehan has done, and like all these defenders that have to come up, they have to hustle. It's a continuous clock. There's no stoppage of play. And time is not really on the Maiden side right now with the clock running.
Especially since they're losing 1-0.
Yeah, but like all other sports, a one-goal lead really isn't that safe because one goal can happen at any given time. I mean, we saw that in the first half. Nobody would have told you that Tennant would have scored on that kind of a play. But the Maidens are just going to try to get something going here, see what they can do. Here's Spaulding, gets it taken away from her. Up the far side. Played nicely by Mogenberg. Kick ball. Meehan. Deflected off of number 27. That's got to hurt Kate Kirshner. Meehan gets it stolen away nicely by Gerstel. Up the far side. Illegal contact on that play. Free hit for Tennant. Jen Doney will do the honors. Tops this one, taken by Sarah Ducilli. Nothing's gotten by her so far this half. Moser trying to get by the solid defense of Jen Bria, who's really been a pain in North Penn's side today. Here's Willis. Sending. She has. Somar, just the goalie to beat. Unable to score. Unfortunately, she hit that just a little bit too far, and she couldn't catch up with it. The goalie came out, cut off the angle, and we saw that it happened before. That's the second time it's happened, Joe. Just the goalie making the smart decision, saying, okay, I'm going to come out and get that ball. They're not going to score.
It almost looked like on that play, Somar kicked it a little bit instead of hitting it with her stick, which made her lose control of the ball.
Far side play. Sins goes down. She appears to be all right. Here's Kirshner at midfield, circling out with it. Meehan will control. She has time. Turns and fires toward the middle. Only person there is a Tennant player, Danielle Klein. Megan Sins on the far side. We'll watch that one go out of bounds. It'll be an inbound for the Maidens. Once again, 1-0 William Tennent. A little bit over midway through this second half. And the Maidens have really outplayed the Lady Panthers, just unable to capitalize on the 15 or so corners that they've had. A couple scrambles around the net that could have gone either way, and the ball's just not bouncing North Penn's way this afternoon.
They just haven't been able to finish, and that's pretty much been the story of the game.
Of course, with the low scoring of field hockey, you really have to capitalize on your scoring opportunities.
Especially on your chances.
Here's Sarah Ducilli hitting it out for the Maidens. Stopped by Sherry Geis, sent back in. Kicked ball just outside of the penalty area. Kelly Lentz really shanked that one. She almost whiffed on that. So it'll be North Penn ball. It was Willis looking for Nikki Leone. Good to see her back in the game with a little bandage over the right side of her forehead. So I guess you called it. You're the doctor, Joe, not me.
Why, thank you. Let's hope that Leone back in the game really does give them a spark. It kind of seemed like they were a little dead when she was out of the game.
Yeah, but let's face it. I mean, Megan Heath, she did a really nice job filling in.
She did do a good job.
I mean, short notice coming in. She's not really prepared to come in as a sub, and Leone goes down. She comes in nicely and does a good job filling in, and they had a couple chances with her in the game. Ball sent over the end line. 16-yard free hit for William Tennent. Sent out just over the stick of Moser. Now it's Spalding. Jill Coop beats Spalding, but Spalding comes right back and steals it now. Coop and Spalding just sparring out there. Spalding still in the middle of that action. Now it's Sue Ducilli. Sent up the side by Tennent. Lizzie Gentle trying to get there. And beats Meehan with a nice little move. Up across the 25-yard line. Good poke check by Meehan. And again, Meehan playing some pestering defense, but she gets contact there. Tennent ball. Sent in quickly. Here's Sherry Geis. Contact, a corner. One of William Tennant's either their first or second corner of the game. They really have not had a lot of corner opportunities today. Taking the corner is Jen Doney. Drops it off. Gerstel. Taken away by Moser very nicely. Kept in, though, by Gerstel. Meehan. Unable to connect on that. Moser trying to get play out of there. Centered. Shot.
Ooh.
Just high and wide. Means we'll have a 16-yard free kick. Excuse me, free hit. This isn't soccer. Forgot about that. Jamie Willis.
Looking for somebody.
Far side to Sins. Play sent up. Nobody really there for the Maidens. Here's Leone just around midfield. Sends it up and taken away. Here's Alyssa Moser. Slapping it in, but blocked again. Good defense by Tennent. It's been the story of this game.
Yeah, they really have played real solid. They really have, except for a couple dribblers that got by, that the goalie came out and made a nice play on. North Penn really hasn't had that much of a chance because of the defense.
And you look at the goalies, I mean, really, you've seen our goalie, Jody Trumbore, North Penn's goalie. Really, I mean, she's played a good game, just got one fluke goal that went in, and, I mean, she's an all-league goalie, and you're going to have goals like that go in. Unfortunately for the Maidens, Sarah Paulsworth has just been standing on her head so far today, really playing an excellent game. Here's Spalding at midfield, over to Sue Ducilli, excuse me. Play sent in around the 25-yard line. Contact on Tennant. North Penn ball. Slapping it up. Sue Ducilli just wide off of Paulsworth. Willis, good hustle to the corner, shot down. They're going to call that as actually obstruction, I believe, on Willis. Good play on defense there by Megan Heath back in the game.
Willis
again.
was real upset on that one. You could hear her yell "what" to the referee. It looked like she really wanted that call. She did get taken to the ground, it looked like, in our opinion. But can't really complain after the play's been called.
Exactly. Meehan will send it in, the free hit. Trying to get through 4 Tennent defenders and is not able to, but it was kicked. So, Meehan will take it from just outside the penalty circle. Centers it in. Willis trying to battle. They're going to give him a corner. Ball was kicked around by one of the Tennent defenders, namely Justina Bria. Meehan with yet another corner for the Maidens. This is really important here right now, Joe. They really want to have a goal here.
They're going to have to convert on one of these eventually.
Moser and Ducilli both unable to recover. Amanda Spaulding tries to send it back in. Not what the Maidens wanted right there, although possession changes back to the Maidens. Into Leone, kicked away by Paulsworth, a corner for the Maidens. Meehan hustling back. Time starting to run out on the Maidens. We don't have a clock with us, but we can only assume that there's not much time left in this game with the clock running. Meehan centers. Moser, one touch. Over to Willis, trying to get by the defense. Takes a hack. They're going to call her for a dangerous play right there, getting a little contact. Might have gotten a piece of one of the Tennent defenders. Of course, Tennent in no hurry right now to get the play going.
You're right. They're going to try to take as much time as possible here, Kyle.
Exactly. Right now, repositioning the ball. One of those little things that, it's legal, but not very sportsmanlike, but they'll let it go. North Penn ball on the obstruction call. Willis tries to send it in. Has Heath. Paulsworth again with a beautiful kick save. She's in the double digits in saves today, Joe, which is really a rarity for field hockey goalies.
You're right, and a lot of them have been nice kick saves like we just saw. She hustles out of the goal nicely. She knows what she's doing.
Sarah Ducilli whacks it in for the Maidens. Leone unable to control, but recovers. A 3-on-1 centering. Out of bounds. It'll be a far hit for the Maidens, I believe. And it will be. Megan Sins taking it. Maidens trying to hurry up and try to get a goal here. Sins centering. Moser kicks it. Unfortunately for the Maidens, they had that set up. She had Willis cutting toward the net. Timeout taken by, I believe, North Penn. Coach Joan Moser calling for that timeout. Trying to regroup a little here. Maidens trying to get one last push before this game ends. And really, when you think about it, they're probably not going to get 2 goals.
Right.
We're not ruling out anything, of course. Plenty of hockey still to go here. But a 1 goal, really, against Tennent, they were looking to beat this team, using their speed to their advantage. And their defense has played an excellent game. Tennent's really hasn't had too many opportunities, and like we've been saying, they just had a fluke goal. North Penn's really been outplaying them, and the Maidens, in my opinion, really deserve to win this game, if not come back and tie it.
They should. I also think that too, Kyle. I mean, they've been getting to the ball quicker, like we've been saying all game, and they've been making better contact with their hits. It's just like one of those things in sports. You might not play as hard, but you might get the win.
Exactly, and it really would not be good for the Maidens for their confidence to come have Tennent come to their field, their home field, and really outplay Tennent, really incredibly outplay them, and just come away with a 1-0 loss. That's kind of disheartening for the Maidens, and like all good teams, they'll regroup, and they really need to. They'll be playing Norristown on Thursday, and they'll be home Saturday against LC. We'll be putting that game on TV for them, so we'll see what the Maidens can do. Looking forward to 2 more games this week. Tennent breaks out of the huddle, led by their goalie, Sarah Paulsworth, who really, in my opinion, Joe, has been really the star of this game.
Yeah.
Coming up with huge saves.
She's made the most important difference throughout the game.
Free hit for Tennent to start it off. Shanked, but recovered by Coop. Sent into the maidens. Kick save again by Paulsworth. Ducilli. In. Leone. Turns, fires. Deflected. Away from the goal. Sent out by Geis. Geis started this game at forward, but is now playing back on defense. Meehan. Trying to get it through. Heath the only one around. Topped. Meehan controls. Centering. Off of a stick. Heath again trying to control. Sent up. Good ball by Leslie Mosenberg.
Ooh.
We're going to have an injury timeout. I was looking away from the play. Did you see that one, Joe?
Yeah, it looked like she was finishing her swing. It came up and hit her right in the face. You don't like to see that at all, Kyle.
Trying to find a number on this player. I believe it's number 10, Lizzie Gerstel, who's played an excellent game at forward for William Tennent. She is really hurt right now, Joe. And like we always say, we don't like to see injuries at high school or at any level for that matter. It's just a shame. I mean, the game's almost over, and they're trying to finish up. And really, Tennent has played a good game, although they've been outplayed by North Penn. Really have been playing a solid game. Of course, when you shut out a team, you can't complain. But we just hope the best for Lizzie Gerstel right now. Tennent gathered around Gerstel.
I really hope she's okay, though. Like we've said before, high school sports is all for fun. They're not getting paid or anything, and you really don't like to see people hurt.
Exactly. Gerstel sits up. That's always a good sign. Managed to take Gerstel off the field under her own power. She appears to be all right. Tennent trying to regroup. They're going to have the ball in. In for Tennent as a substitution, Danielle Klein. Obstruction on that play, Maidens ball. Once again, time is of the essence for the Maidens. Willis will take this. She'll try to send it up. Looking for a lane. And finds Heath. Sends it far side. Good ball. Moser controlling. Sends it off of a Tennent player. Now it's Megan Sins up the far sideline. Unable to control. Obstruction call against her. Tennent sends it out. Leone, nice control there. Good defense by Spalding. Here's Kirshner. Up the side, Meehan unable to control, but she has time to recover. Sends it cross field. Alyssa Moser with a good hustle to come back for that. Tennent ball. Far side, Sarah Ducilli. Gets it around number 9, Justina Bria. Still fighting for it is Ducilli, this time against Jill Coop. Leone trying to pick up the far side play, unable to, but the Maidens will retain possession.
They really have got to get something going here if they want to have a chance to tie or maybe even win.
Exactly. A lot of play in midfield right now, and that's not going to help the Maidens. They need to get down inside that scoring circle. Willis and Moser trying to get something going. And do draw a foul. Sue Ducilli. They're going to call her right there. The ball was moving when she was trying to hit it. That was the far side official, Sandy Killeen, on that call. Our other official today on the near side, who's been running in front of our camera, Mary Kate Peckham. Both doing a good job today, though. Here's Spalding at midfield. Good play, but now it's taken by Kirshner. Sending it near side. Kelly Lentz. Sending it through the defense. Ducilli doesn't see it. Turns around, takes a hack at it. And draws an obstruction call. Ducilli hustling. Waits for the ball to settle this time. Not going to get called for the same thing 2 times. But once again, solid defense by Jen Bria. Willis. Over to Leone. Now, it's Moser. Obstruction call, Megan Sins. Waiting for things to set up. Has Moser in motion. Unable to connect there, though. Willis. Through to Moser. Back to Willis. But taken up nicely by Kelly Lentz. There is Spalding. Now Leone. Called for a hack right there. Molly Meehan charging. Takes a big hack, but topped it. Leone, shot. Deflection. Unable to connect once more. Just frustrating for the Maidens right now. Spalding hits it off the foot of Lentz. Now controlling on the baseline. Sent out, Meehan. Obstruction call. Meehan again sends it in. Heath, centering, nobody home. Picked up by Sarah Ducilli. Working toward the far side, unable to control, however. Now she picks it up. Trying to center. Willis misses it, trying to keep it from going over the end line. That'll result in a 16-yard free hit. Once again, Tennent not in any particular hurry to get this ball back in play. Sent up the far sideline and out of play.
Tennent's just trying to get it away from their goal as much as possible right now. And by long hits like that, they're wasting enough time.
Exactly. Now up the far sideline, stopped nicely by Mogenberg. Sins. Looking for Moser. Trying to beat Justina Bria, unable to, however. Still going at it. Obstruction. Moser centering quickly. Heath. Kick saved by Paulsworth. Leone trying to get something going. Moser takes a hack. Heath unable to get there. It's a corner for the Maidens off of a Tennent player.
You'd have to think this is going to be one of their last chances in this game. You can almost feel the time running
Meehan.
down.
Willis. Back to Ducilli. Shot. Blocked. Willis. Another corner. Like you said, Joe, really the Maidens have to treat almost every scoring chance as if it were their last. Moser deflects it back to Ducilli. Winds up. Fires. Kick save. Paulsworth. Shot. Ducilli. Just wide. I don't know how that one didn't go in.
Once again, it's just the Maidens just can't get the ball in the goal. It's not like it's their fault or anything. I'm not accusing them of not getting it in there, but
just bad luck really today.
Yeah,
I mean, things are just not on their side.
And it's got to be frustrating for them.
Here's play just outside the 25-yard line at Tennent. Once again, time really a factor as the Maidens are down 1-0 to William Tennent late in the second half here at North Penn High School. Kyle Berger along with Joe Alcaro. Sherry Geis just going to slap it in, not looking for much offense there. Although an insurance goal would really solidify this win for William Tennent. Leone, good defense, sticks tied up. And they're going to call Tennent on that one. Willis sending for Leone. And it gets by Bria. Willis with a break. Leone. Heath unable to pick it up, kicked out. Once again by Paulsworth. Goes out of bounds. The Maidens will take a far hit on the near side. It'll be Meehan centering. I just heard on the sideline about 50 seconds. So this is the Maidens' last opportunity and Tennent's last stand right now. Meehan sending it in. Leone turns, fires. Sent out. Sins trying to send it back in and does. Ducilli unable to control. Good job of pinching right there. That was Mogenberg. Now Spalding on the sideline, but just too many Tennent players around her. Taken by Kirchner. And now Geis. Meehan has to send it up quickly. Maidens really need to get some offense immediately right now. Willis, a lot of contact there, but no call. Meehan kicked out now by Trumbore. Kirchner. Shot. Blocked. Turnaround. Shot. Just wide. And that'll do it. William Tennent has upset North Penn by a score of 1-0. Players are really frustrated. Joe, what can you say? An excellent game played by the Maidens. I mean, if you look at any of the stats other than the score in this game, you'll see shots, penalty corners, and quality chances, and even time spent attacking. Really, North Penn blew Tennent out of the water here, and you just can't help when there's a fluky goal. And that's something a good team will shake off.
Yeah, you're right. They must have had 10, 15 chances down here right in front of the Lady Panthers goal, and they just couldn't get it in today. That'll change probably for the next game, but today just wasn't their day to win.
Exactly. I have a good feeling that maybe in practice in between the Norristown game and the LC game, they'll be working on maybe finishing a little bit better on those corners. And they really had a lot of corners today. And they're just unable to capitalize on them. So William Tennent going to get out of town here with a win, which really most people wouldn't have expected them to get. And a fluky goal, an excellent goaltending by our player of the game, Sarah Paulsworth, the goaltender for William Tennent, really showing that, hey, Jody Trumbore may be an all-league goalie, but I'm not going to roll over and play dead.
You're right.
She really played an excellent game and just really dominated. Anything that was sent into that scoring area, she was all over.
Her good reaction time is what kept her in that game. Every time there was a shot in, she either kicked it out or she just made the right play. Okay, well that's going to do it from here at North Penn High School. Once again, William Tennent 1, North Penn Maidens 0 in field hockey action. The Maidens dropped to 4-3. And they'll be playing at Norristown and then home against LC. We'll have that for you here on Channel 16. So long, everybody. I'm Kyle Berger along with Joe Alcaro. Have a good day.
Math, a four-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that.
Why design the world's newest chips?
When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra.
No pocket protectors here.
But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look.
That's math staring back at you.
It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.